I endorse the Juggernaut astronaut.
Welcome to the show. Let's get on with it.
Good evening, my fellow Americans, fellow bordering countries, and the rest of the world. I hope I have your attention. It's great to be here today. Thank you for having me. I am not who you think I am. This is indeed another segment from the creative mind of the Juggernaut.
Tonight, I can inform you that the Juggernaut just doesn't sleep. It's a fully fashioned AI video.
And tonight, it's my turn to voice the ideas that stem from that futhermucker. Granted, it's all hunches and make-believe, but at least you can hear me say the word futhermucker. It's something I have long wanted to say, while also endorsing the Juggernaut astronaut.
So who the fuck is the Juggernaut? He's one of the people's elbows, a clueless everything bagel of danger and righteousness.
But what he can say through an AI digital form is far more than even a leader can get away with.
We have so much hidden information that you can pretty much make up complete bullshit, and chances are it does or did really exist.
This is where the Juggernaut excels at. Oh, he may hear a new reel and run with it, embellishing a truth into a mega phenomenon.
I mean, there will always be some gem of truth in every bit of video you watch, or he may insert his own opinion.
He told me he considers himself the opinion minion. Typically, no one gives a fuck, but damn, dude's got to do something with his time. He regrets paying attention to world affairs. So now he can't stay quiet, not when platforms like this exist. I told him he is in danger. Danger from snipers, danger from the DEA, danger from the CIA. But does he listen?
No. Hence the reason for the Juggernaut portion in his name, as he charges into the stories like a rhino. When you don't understand consequences from the letter of the law, he won't listen to any AI rendering anytime soon.
But everyone is probably as broke as he is, so what can they get aside from shelling out imprisonment? So, all those letter agencies can fuck off. Or better yet, do better, you bastards, and redact that shit back to your mom's house. Because we are all sick of the stupidity where you like to expose, print, and then black out text. Swamp gas? People are crazy. Our pilots are crazy. Our traffic and radar controllers are crazy.
Paratrooping dummies?
Trust Colonel Corzo and his reporting, his book, or Maurice Chatelain and his book. These two men were in the right place at the right time and talk about hidden technology or what was found on the moon.
Let's examine this concept closer in a new segment we are going to call Moon Fuck.
Welcome to Moon Fuck. Let's get funky.
So why did we go to the moon?
In the 1950s, there was a huge push to reach the moon. An unprecedented effort.
Why? Well, we had just beat the Germans. We beat the Germans. We had atomic energy and weapons.
And the Germans? They had just finished scouring the entire planet, plundering artifacts of antiquity.
They also had a high-tech rocket program. Maybe much more than that.
There were reports of Foo Fighters and a gravity-defying bell-shaped object.
They were using psychics and remote viewing and claims of meeting the blonde aliens,
while collecting artifacts from antiquity, which ultimately led them to Antarctica. In the meantime, the Allies won the war and then collected German scientists in a program called Project Paperclip.
So now we have reports from Germans, French, British, Americans, and all the countries involved in World War II.
All talking about paranormal activity, and we have atomic energy, and we just brought all the scientists from Germany, and what happens next? There is a huge push to get to the moon. American scientists are fired, and the Germans have a new project handed to them called NASA.
So now the enemy, essentially, have all the budgets and handed high security clearance.
And priority number one is to get to the moon. Everyone, including Walt Disney, is on board.
That is to say, after trying to figure out what is going on in Antarctica.
So if you don't know, that was called Project High Jump.
Some serious fuckery seems to be going on in Antarctica. Reports of more Foo Fighters and crap.
At that time in 1946, the military sent an expedition chasing the Germans who may have relocated.
So with this quote-unquote project, came back spanked.
Men died, ships were sank, planes destroyed. They shut it up tight. But now they knew it existed. So they tried to shoot them down. Reports of craft coming out of the water, that they could fly pole to pole in a matter of minutes. They shut it all down. The admiral never spoke about it except in a supposed diary.
No one heard about Project High Jump for a very long time. And this story is beyond imagination. So knowing what we know now, it means this was a serious matter. One that was probably overwhelming to those in the know, and that realization is to be outclassed in hardware.
So there are reports of the Admiral speaking to Germans, and the Master, and talk of crystal cities underground. Agartha.
According to the diary. But officially, the Admiral disappeared during a flight while mapping the terrain.
And the strange part is the flight time cannot accommodate the flight time, as fuel could not sustain flight for the entire duration of the missing time, which means he would have had to have landed. Or the diary has some truth. Either way, that knowledge scared the fuck out of the military.
So that put them on the defensive and offensive simultaneously. Juggernaut says that means we started to shoot them down. Or tried to anyways. Next thing you know, it's July 1947, and we are detonating atomic bombs in the air under the guise of testing, or using high-power radar and targeting these Foo Fighters.
Maybe Roswell wasn't a target and was lightning. There is no contesting that some fucking thing went down and we scooped it.
Next thing you know, Colonel Corso's pushing technology to reverse engineer and put it into military applications, then eventually into the public. The human race starts leaping forward exponentially in computers and data and new hardware, from transistors to fiber optics. All the while, the government keeps quiet, keeps working. Black projects and unrestrained projects.
Building underground infrastructure and continuing research. Hell, maybe even working with aliens. The stories and reports are incredible.
And fuck, what's the real truth? Are we part of the Matrix? Is it reptilians controlling everything? Do we already have time travel? Well, in my opinion.
We do live in the Matrix without control. There is some kind of phenomenon going on, and has been for many, many years.
And I don't think we have any control over that. They come and go with complete impunity. So I hope to fucking hell we do have alternate energy sources and anti-gravitics.
But it sounds like we are going to need time travel and interdimensional capabilities.
And even if we had those, could the human mind or body withstand those kinds of rigors?
Could a juggernaut? Maybe. I did get scanned once and survived. Maybe even improved afterwards. Anyways, what we covered today is barely the tip of the iceberg. And time will tell, but it does feel like a change has occurred.
I also feel like the aliens want to remain hidden. Or maybe it's just clinical apathy. There are reports we have been planted here to grow and test upon, which is what seems most accurate.
There are several doctors who suggest the alien abduction phenomenon is some kind of huge multi-generational gene manipulation.
So we are like an ant farm that is on a scale that's incomparable to an ant farm. But that's the idea. Some fucked up science project. I prefer to think we are indispensable. I hope.
So that leads us back to the moon. Like, why don't we have high-definition photos of the lunar surface, even though orbiters have been up there for multi-decades?
And what the fuck did the Germans learn that made those tight asses open up and fund the moon run? Something that dictated us going to the moon. They would never fund that project unless there was benefit or just cause. They found something.
They went up there and saw. Then, they shut it down. There were the transcripts of communication that wasn't public, where some items were cryptically discussed. And the book from Maurice, who was the chief designer of Apollo radio equipment, a guy who was in the know and part of every communication between astronauts and base. This author clearly suggested they met aliens. You compare that with some of the footage shown of a press release with the Apollo 11 astronauts.
Really strange behavior when you win with a moon mission and landing. Was space travel tiring? Were they maybe doped up? This is before having anxiety was a thing.
I'm just saying, it's weird. Don't you agree? Humans are probably an interesting item to aliens. Violent. War after war. War. Civilization after civilization, to crusades and thin witch hunts.
And him saying eons going by. But last couple hundred years has been lowbrow craziness. Lots of things have changed from the days of witch hunts, but common sense is eluding the human race.
It's hard to believe witch hunts came after the crusades, but common sense was occluded by spiritual entitlement.
Debase our moral compass using compassion and evidence.
Compassion and evidence. An ideology we should adhere to. This mindset should be applied to every situation. But our leaders, corporation owners, and military need a serious dose of these two concepts.
The level of apathy is incredulous. I think some serious oversight in conduct is warranted and at this point in time, necessary.
Let's not forget my goal is comedy, but I have to suggest moral direction to the idiots I'm talking to. You chimps know who you are.
Monkey see, monkey do, right? That's the way it is. Deal with it, right? Well, fuck that monologue. No, I got a better idea. We install the Juggernaut and give him a good wage and remotely employed and enjoyed, and we keep him safe from snipers.
Let him do his thing and call out idiocy and suggest the form of penitence. I mean, come on. We should be paying him.
I've got an eye for coffee.
I mean, come on. We should be paying him.
But we also should be talking about Gobek Lee, and we are not.
UFOs are real. Biologics are real. Our government are the liars and fakers in this story.
And all the recent discoveries under the pyramid. What the fuck?
Nazi scouring and war. Atomic bombs and scientific transplants.
Space programs and presidential assassinations, it's strangeness and UFO suppression and big secrets we can't handle. And moon secrets with zero high-res photos from the moon we just can't have.
But we do have items to suggest structures and possibly craft and more recent UFOs noted from backyard astronomy.
And I wonder, what did the astronauts really see while on the moon? Maurice paints a vivid picture of events, evidence, all around us. Evidence all around us. And then, aside from structures and aliens, perfect size, perfect placement. Millions of asteroid impacts, but a uniform depth to each impact. The moon itself is strange.
There's also lore suggesting the moon is not local and came from somewhere else.
That's not a moon. It's a space station.
Anyways, I don't know. The Juggernaut can't prove anything, but the Juggernaut will deny everything.
Despite that info, the moon is weird. Forgot to mention it rings like a bell, and that's weird too. Anyone else think it's manned by humans or aliens or both?
How about stargates or portals? If it's a Matrix reality, are we about to start playing Doom?
Navy is telling us about underwater bases and alien presence on Earth. Some interdimensional or higher technologically capable aliens would be able to control their environment. Any things we already see as transmedium craft could survive in water, space, or the moon with ease, maybe even in volcanoes or salt.
Look, all we know is that there is craft and bodies or live aliens that have been hidden from the public and attempted to be exploited for a cash value.
Lots of companies paid directly by the Black Projects to incorporate new recovered technology into the human experience while making an exceptional product.
And claiming intellectual property and copyrights, earning licensing, of course. But that's not enough. They keep the truth of extraterrestrial life and true history to themselves. That bugs the Juggernaut the most. So thanks to compassion I keep to myself in videos, but that's entitlement that's far beyond good manners. And we have lots of evidence of that mindset from our leaders.
This will bring this episode to a close for now, but I may be back if the season is renewed. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope to see you again soon.